everybody, AdamHarry back again with another BoLS unboxing. Today we're looking at the Deathwatch Overkill Sprues. We have the Genestealer Cult Sprues and also Big Red.
Hi everybody.
He's here with me as well. So we're going to take a quick look at these sprues. Pretty pumped about this one. Just to point some things out, it does come with all three of these sprues. We have the Patriarch, the Primus, and the Magus here. And then these two sprues have all the hybrids and stuff like that.
The dudes.
But those two of the sprues are the same, so we're probably just going to show one of them off at a time. But that said, let's go ahead and take a look. Big Red, which one are we going to start with?
I think we're going to start with the big bad guys.
Patriarch Tom. All right, let's cut to that. Okay, we have the sprue with the Genestealer Primus, Patriarch, and Magus here in front of us. One of the things I want to point out real quick too, that's not just a broodlord. Like I think he's bigger, slightly bigger.
This guy has substantially larger mass than the broodlord from Space Hulk does. This is a big old. He's a big old.
Yeah,
right there. I don't say he's fat, but
no,
he's
got some girth.
He's got some mass to him.
Yeah, and he's got the really cool spines in the back too. It's also the brain. I really like that model just because of the actual head part.
The huge pulsating brain.
It's like a zonothrope, and a Genestealer broodlord had a baby.
Yep.
Maybe they did. I don't know. But it's a really cool model. It's got the cool pipe, which is awesome.
Yeah. So let's take a little bit of.
So this whole sprue half.
Yeah. So this is all him here. So we have this huge.
Yeah.
See, this is his main body, and there's just a really amazing details here on his back vents and spines here. There's the super long
grippy tongue.
The ovipositor, which is what he uses to infect people. He is sitting atop right here. You can see it here and here. This is the left and right of the big pipe he's on. So he has a kind of a really nice scenic base, which is going to raise him up and give him even more height. So he's got the duct. It has this piece here. We'll flip that over. The backside of that is a fan. So there's a fan that is at the edge of this duct, and of course it has skulls and debris all over it.
I love his fingers. How he's kind of like manipulating things. It's all like pointing and claw-like. It's just very cool.
Yeah, he is a Genestealer, so he has his 4 arms, and you can see. So he has this arm and this arm. He has kind of his 2 more traditional kind of
hands,
his kind of creepy grasping hands. In fact, he's holding something in one of them.
I think it's probably a skull or something.
And then he has the 2 claws.
It's gotta be a skull, right?
And these are huge. These are really long. Yeah. And the claws on them are just really, really long. These are also, these must have been, I don't even know how they cast these, but they're very, for lack of a better word, 3-dimensional. They're kind of going out in different planes. Like it's a very complicated piece. To have cast all of that on the sprue like that without having to break it down into separate pieces. Those 2 arms also, the 2 rending claw arms, they're outstretched, so the model takes up a lot of space.
Right, it's wide. It's wider than you would expect.
Yeah, he's definitely, they definitely are. He's in his I'm about to strike pose.
Oh yeah, he is striking the strike pose.
It's like the Karate Kid. Kind of.
Yep. All right, so that's enough about the Patriarch, who's just awesome. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Primus and the Magus now. So here we have the Magus.
Right there. And he's in this quadrant here.
That whole section.
So there's the front and back.
He's got the cool robe, because he is kind of a religious cult leader.
Yeah, so he has a staff, and you can
see it right here.
That staff actually has like a little tiny, the headpiece of the staff is kind of like a little squatting Genestealer.
Which is kind of cool. Which is really very nice touch.
Yep. His robes. There's a separate piece here. Yep. These are kind of like his royal vestments. He has the two long strips of fabric.
And there's very ornate. Like there's lots of little details on there. Really cool sculpting.
They have little tassels hanging off the bottom and little metal doodads all over the place.
One thing I want to call out too on this section. This is not just the Magus, but we also have his little Genestealer familiar buddy.
Oh, the familiar.
Big Red, any theories on that thing, man? Because like Genestealers are Tyranids, Shadow of the Warp, but humans have the warp, familiar thing with chaos. So you think this is just like some weird hybrid of that, or psychic manifestation?
They may have changed some of the background of what the familiars are supposed to be, because I read somewhere in this book that those familiars are basically psychic manifestations of the Patriarch, of the will of the Patriarch and the Magus. So they're not even real. They're kind of like watchers in the dark. Okay. Like the Dark Angels have.
Yeah.
But purple and bald.
So they're Zinch. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
They're not Zinch. I'm kidding.
Like, don't do that.
All right, let's talk about the Primus real fast. That's this part of the sprue.
The Primus, he's really interesting because this is
a brand new model.
Exactly, this is a new concept. This is something that wasn't in the old Genestealer Cult from way back in the day. So this is basically a 4th generation hybrid, and whereas the Magus is the one who's all psychic and he's the charismatic guy, and he's the guy who uses his voice. He's for you Lord of the Rings fans. The Magus is very much he's Wormtongue.
Okay.
He's that kind of a character, right? He's the smooth talking guy.
Is this more like an Aragorn then?
Well, exactly. This guy, the Primus, this is another 4th generation hybrid, but this is the guy he's the general. So he leads all the hybrids, and he's all about fighting in close combat.
Okay, cool.
So he's got and it's a really interesting model. He has.
You can tell he's got like a needler pistol, which we haven't seen those in forever.
Yep, he has a needler pistol, he has a sword, and he has a rending claw. So he's got his 3. So even though he's a 4th generation hybrid, he does still have like the 1st and 2nd generation. I mean, he's definitely he's like a monster.
I think in the rules too, it's actually said it was a bionic claw, which is completely different than a typical rending claw. So that's pretty cool. I can actually see it kind of there, but
he has a fancy cloak.
Yeah,
because as we know in the Grimdark universe, if you're someone who matters, you have a fancy cloak.
No helmets because you matter. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's the other side of the sprue again. That side, and then you can kind of see the vent. That's the fan you were talking about earlier.
There's the vent. And then where are the Genestealer familiars? Yeah,
there's one there, and there's one there.
They're very tiny.
They're like grot sized.
Yep, they are definitely grot sized. And one of them is kind of in a crouching pose with his tongue sticking out, and the other one is squatting and pointing.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of make that out there. There's the pointy one. So, all right, cool. Well, that's it for the Genestealer Cult kind of hierarchy.
Head honchos.
The head honchos. Yeah. Let's take a look at the grunts now.
No problem.
We got the grunts here. The Genestealer Purestrain Genestealers, the hybrids, the 2nd and 3rd generation type guys, the Aberrants on here too. So again, this does come with another sprue that looks just like this one, but we're only going to show this one off because why would we need to show both off? So Big Red, where do you want to start, man? So many cool things on the sprue.
I think we're going to start with the Purestrains.
Okay, that's one of these guys.
Yep, and these are exactly what you think they are. They're what it says on the tin. They are Purestrain Genestealers. Nothing.
We've seen these guys before. There's the rending claw, the regular hand. So that's this part right here. So again, you get this guy, and I believe there's a second one on the other sprue, obviously.
Yep.
So you get 2 Purestrains. So pretty cool there. We've seen those models 100 times.
Yep, they are running, and they have lots of claws, and their tongues are sticking out. So
and the arms are opposable, so like they don't just go slot in and stop. Like you can angle them however you want. So who's up next, man?
After that, let's take a look at the hybrid with mining laser.
So that's this. There's the mining laser.
That's this guy, and you get one of these, which means
per sprue.
Per sprue. So you're going to get 2 of these. This is kind of the that's their version, the Colt's version of the shooting guy.
Okay.
So he has a.
I think he has a cleave, which we haven't talked about the rules yet, but that actually means no armor saves.
Exactly. He's really slow, and he doesn't.
He's the heavy weapon guy.
He's the heavy weapon guy. It's he's slow. He's not very accurate, but if he actually manages to hit you, ouch.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of him, and
so it's basically like a las cannon, or something like that, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to go take a look at the Aberrants. Now, these are also the Aberrants are interesting. This is something new. This is something that we haven't.
2 of them down here. Keep going.
That didn't exist before in the old Genestealer Cult list, and this is kind of they're explained as being these mysterious creatures that we don't know what happened in the infection process, but basically they're really giant and really powerful and dim-witted. It's the trope we've seen in lots of different armies. Basically, this is the muscle. So these are the guys. You're going to get 4 of them.
Total. Yeah. There's 2 here. Obviously, 2 in the other sprue.
Here they are. They're not wearing any of the normal mining armor. They're just their spine is sticking out. They have huge muscles.
Yeah. Let me flip it over real fast so you see the other side too.
And they're armed with what you would expect. Big mindless.
They got the big mining picks.
Exactly. They have mining picks and big huge mining hammers. And in the game, They are, exactly what you would think. They have no ranged attacks.
So yeah, those two right there.
If they get into assault range with you, they're going to be rolling multiple dice, and it's.
Are they fast in the game, or are they pretty slow?
They are speed 2.
Okay, so that's not. It's pretty average.
So
yeah.
average. Yeah.
They're not horribly slow, but if they get to you, it's bad times.
But definitely, if you're members of the Deathwatch, you got to kill those guys before they get in there. The models themselves are really beautiful. You can see here. Take a look at these guys. They have not only on their backsides, as we saw, they have just large amounts of musculature, but on the fronts they're just totally ripped. Look at that. They have muscles all over them.
Lots of detail packed in those.
And they're wearing kind of loincloths with, if you notice, really cool on this guy. He has a little chain.
Yeah.
The Genestealer Cult logo medallion.
So these guys are blinged out too. We were wondering where the bling was. I was.
Well, that's where it is.
So who's up? We got the Aberrants there. All the cool weapons from them.
Then we're going to go into the guys. There's just a huge amount of these guys, and there's tons of them. We're just going to kind of quickly hit them. So first, we have the first and second generation hybrids. There's a bunch of them.
Which, describe those real quick. Those are the guys with...
First and second generation hybrids. These are the ones, these are the early generation cult members.
Okay.
So they look physically much closer to Genestealers.
Okay, so that's like this guy here, this guy here.
So these are the guys who
who,
in general, the big hallmark is they have 3 arms.
Okay.
So they have 3 arms. At least one of their arms looks like a Genestealer arm. So they have the big... the
rending claw.
The big chitin armor, and they have the big rending claws.
Yeah.
And their heads look very much like Genestealer heads.
Okay.
So they look, these are definitely monsters.
So on the scale of humanoid Genestealer, these guys are kind of in the middle, but definitely leaning Genestealer.
Exactly.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Those guys have... And in general, these are the basic troops in the game that you're going to be seeing a lot. So these guys are... They're speed 2. They're not really good at shooting. They're not really good as assault. They're going to be coming at you in big waves. You're going to be killing them in big waves.
Okay, cool.
Model-wise, they look really, really cool. You can see they
have auto pistols, which is cool.
Yeah, they have all kinds of...
So basically like
antiquated
Genestealers with guns. Just think about that for a second.
They're wearing the mining harnesses, because this is all on a mining world. So you can definitely see they all have these cool kind of little high-tech quasi-space suity industrial gear. They have straps all over them. Many of them, there's another guy who has chains in the Genestealer Cult bling.
Yeah, it looks like the first and second gen hybrids have like skirts or robes as well, or torn tattered stuff. And that guy I think is actually the mining laser guy there. And then these guys are the third and fourth gen guys.
Right.
Which those are the guys wearing the armor and stuff, armor plates.
Right, so we're going to be getting to them next, and that's where we are now. So,
So
third and fourth generation hybrids, you're going to get a ton of these guys also. So what are these guys? These are the guys, these are much later generation of hybrids from the Genestealer infection. So these guys look almost human.
Yeah.
So they have 2 arms, 2 legs, a head. Their head is just, it's a little bit kind of overly rounded.
It looks like they've been touched by like Eldar, but not quite.
They maybe have like that kind of classic weird Star Trek head bump for no reason. So, they could be Genestealers, and these guys pretty much look like miners. So they have the full mining gear. They have the searchlights.
Okay. And they have bigger auto guns too, right?
Yeah, and these guys exactly. Whereas the first and second generation hybrids are going to be more about swords and pistols. These guys have auto guns, so they have rifles.
Okay.
And you get a lot of them. Here they are here in the game, as we said.
And there's a couple more down here.
They are, they're speed 2. They're not the greatest in assault. They're not the greatest at shooting, but they do have a long range. So they can shoot all the way out to maximum range, whereas the first and second generation hybrids can't.
Okay, so they just have better rifles and they're better at shooting. Exactly. Don't want to get in close.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that's the other kind of grunt sprue of everything. So let's hop out real fast for final thoughts. All right, Big Red. Overall, what do you think your favorite thing about the Genestealer Cult is?
I think that this is the army that we have been waiting for 25 years maybe.
Putting on,
I mean, and as we saw before when they raided Harlequins, as we saw before when they've gone back into the bronze, Iron Age of Games Workshop and brought things into in the future. We definitely are getting to see what the difference in 25 years of technology does. Because what I love about these is it's not just that it's Genestealer Cult, but they took that core of an army and they've expanded upon it. They've given us new things. They've given us Aberrants. They've given us the close combat, the Primus,
excuse me,
and design-wise, the kits are just so beautiful. You know, I definitely want to point out things like you get things like little backpacks here with just all this equipment and little doodads and grenades and tools.
Yeah,
and you get
very characterful.
And looking at the backs of these guys, you get this. I mean, they really have invented this entire aesthetic of not even a Genestealer Cult, but just an Imperial mining colony. Like these guys really look like, oh, these are guys who work underground in caves and they're digging and they have these kind of, they're like quasi spacesuits, but quasi not.
Yeah, they
have respirators.
It's like we were talking about earlier. I would love to see an IG army of just those mining suits.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. It's such a strong and characterful design that it almost transcends Genestealer Cult. I mean, yes, we're going to see them here, but you know, it would be cool to see Forge World. I mean, take some of these design ideas and run. I mean, a lot of these ideas actually seem kind of similar to. There's kind of hints of this kind of mining colony design in the Solar Auxilia.
Oh
There's definitely some things in common.
Yeah, I just love the detail on the armor plates that they do have. Like there's ribbing and stuff like there. It's like you were saying, it just has that whole new design look to it. Really impressive. Knocked out of the park with that stuff. I also really love the Patriarch model, just the way he's posed and stuff like that. It is reminiscent of a Broodlord, but it's totally not a Broodlord. Like I have a Broodlord from the Space Hulk kit and the Broodlord from the old school ones, like the Opera Singer Broodlords. And this guy is. It's similar, but he's just not. He's bigger and bulkier.
It's interesting because if you look at the Broodlord miniature that came with Space Hulk and you look at this guy, they're both technically supposed to be two creatures that are it's the same thing, just at different points kind of in their their life cycle, but they have such a very different vibe. So as an example, the Broodlord in Space Hulk, that guy looks like a killer, right? That's a killing machine. He's lean, he's muscular, it's a beast. You know? It's like looking at a big scary monster from Alien or something.
Sure.
But this guy has an intelligence to him. Like this one looks much more kind of sinister and malevolent. It's not about the
he's still a killing machine.
Exactly.
But he's got some brains behind the killing power.
This guy looks like there's something behind those eyes that's extra smart and kind of sneaky.
The only thing I'm disappointed about this kit is that he doesn't have any bling on him. I think that was a missed opportunity, and I'm just kidding. I'm sort of kidding. I think it would have been awesome if he had a medallion. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just gonna say for all you BoLS fans out there and all you hobbyists, I'm sure someone out there is going to find some way to take that guy and put him in a big fat chair with a bunch of...
That's a challenge. We're challenging you, Internet. Put that guy in a big chair.
In a big chair, lounging out, being fed grapes by all of his followers. Big medallion about him.
I love it. All right. Well, thanks again for watching. This has been another BoLS unboxing. The Genestealer Cult. Thanks to GW for finally making this happen. Pretty stoked about it. I know Big Red is too. This has been another BoLS unboxing. I'm AdamHarry signing off. Big Red. Say bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.